Hi guys, it's Nico. Um, Today I'm going to talk about 3-3 invasions, particularly about the early 3-3 invasion as played by, as popularized, I guess, by AI. It's been played by just about everyone nowadays. There's a lot of people on the internet that talk about this invasion, and I'll show you all the moves. So I'm not going to try to do, you know, any detailed breakdown of the moves involved in the 3-3 invasion. I'm going to talk about the thinking behind it, why it's played, what it means, and sort of how I understand it. What is important, I think, to just point out as a caveat, my understanding of this is not the only way to think about it. And I'm not even necessarily going to say that it's the correct way to think about it. It's just the way that it makes sense in my head. So, this is the 3-3 invasion, of course, but before we talk about the AI 3-3 invasion, I want to compare it a little bit to the old human 3-3 invasion, which usually happened when black already has an extension on both sides. And people frequently say that AI is very territorial because it likes to play this move. And I would like to debate the claim that this is a territorial move. The old-fashioned human 3-3 invasion, where white invades here, this is a territorial move. This is a move where black is trying to make a large framework here, and white is stealing a part of it, a substantial part, for territorial gain. The AI 3-3 invasion does not have these stones at the side. So, first off, there is no substantial black territorial framework here to invade. You're not stealing black's points. Actually, if black was trying to make points in the corner, usually black would play a komoku or even a 3-3 point instead of the 4-4. So usually black doesn't play this to make corner territory. So the notion that you're stealing corner territory when you play here is a little strange. Well, you could also say maybe white's making corner territory, but if we look at what's probably the most popular variation nowadays, and we ask ourselves, well, how much territory does white actually have in this corner? It looks like white has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and about 8 points in the corner, which is really not that much, especially for a variation where usually black will take sente here. So we ask ourselves, okay, so if white doesn't seem to be taking away black territory, and white doesn't seem to be making all that much white territory either, then what is white actually doing here? This doesn't seem to be a territorial move, and I don't think about this as a territorial move at all. So the way I understand this move is that this black stone, and just about any stone when you place it on the board, especially at the beginning of the game, but generally in Go, before a stone is going to make territory or influence or any of that, the first mission a stone has is to survive, is to live. And generally for any sort of cornerstone like this one or whatever, its main plan for life is going to be to make eyes in the corner. It's going to survive by making eyes here. And so black stone here it doesn't really necessarily see the corner as territory, but it is interested in the corner as eyes, as survival. And that's pretty much the most common justification that I would usually give why playing in the corner is usually considered the first thing you want to do, is because it's a fast way to live. So when white invades at 3-3, I don't think of this as white taking away black's territory. I think of it as white's taking away black's eyes, and is challenging black's survival. Now, if we look at it this way, we look at the old-fashioned human 3-3 invasion. In particular, the old-fashioned human invasion had this exchange in it. Now, we might notice something about this exchange. White was playing here to attack black, in other words, to take black's eyes. But when black gets this shape, much of the eyes of the group come back. So the attack is not useful. If white was only invading black's territory, and black already had stones out here and here to connect to anyway, then whether or not this group has additional strength and eyes is not particularly relevant. However, against a bare stone with nothing else next to it, this additional eye shape for the group is very important, and it completely invalidates the 3/3 move as an attack. Now, since white is does not see a future in attacking the black group by taking the eyes, white instead makes this move. And the reason for this move is that if black ignores and tries to play away, for instance, to attack the black group or whatever, black can actually force white to make this exchange anyway before white defends. This is a technical detail related to life and death of the corner. So since white has to make this anyway, white usually makes this push now, and you will often see AI playing, for instance, a move like this one. And the objective here is not an influence reduction. It doesn't treat this like influence. It treats this as an eyeless group. So if black were to treat it as influence like this, you will often see white playing something like this and directly just attacking the group. So for this reason, black says, okay, I apparently in this situation end up with an eyeless group in Gote. Now, how can I fix this? There are two ways. I can either get the eyes or I can get Sente. So one of the common variations here, black plays the double Hane, allows white to capture the stone, and we can see that even though black ends in Gote, black gets his eyes back, and the group is now alive. Now, black can also, and this is the more common approach, black can also choose this move, and white has a few answers. There's this, and then black Tanuki, or probably nowadays much more common, just white here. And in this situation, black has not taken back the eyes. However, black has taken Sente. Why does black have Sente here? What's the difference with the other variation? Well, if white were to attack this black group, for instance here, even black can ignore again, if white tries to attack this way, black has many forcing moves still against this white shape. Probably the most common way you would see it is this, and then this, and then when black cuts, white has a couple options here. This is sort of a common one. You go like this, here, 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 whatever. The main point here of the story is that black ends up with a second direction for his group and a second area in which to find life, either by eyes or by connection, and does not depend on life or connection in this direction. So, for this reason, it is very uncommon to see white directly attack this group right away, because it's very hard to do so because black has all these forcing moves that helps the group find a different direction. So what you will often see before white plays this is white will play here. And the specific location of this move is relevant. So if black ignores now, then white attacks severely and directly. And the point of this is that these forcing moves for black no longer work. And they no longer work because black really has to play here, and it's self-Atari. And that's the critical reason why white plays specifically here. White is trying to prevent black from being able to use these forcing moves in the most effective way white can. Now, you might see black completely ignore this too. That's not too uncommon. And so if black is going to play on this side and defend, usually it's after white adds this other move. However, black can also ignore again. And the main point here is that even though the group no longer has any way to try to make eyes on the side or to change direction and make eyes over here, it's still a very annoyingly difficult group to attack. One of the more common and interesting variations that I think is pretty instructive here is if black here and you play this, and here, white can almost never actually cut at A. Let's put an A there. Yeah, there we go. So the reason for this, if you remember, white played this stone in order to make it so that this stone was in Atari, right? Which Atari specifically if white plays B. Now, if white gives this Atari, this adds liberties to this stone so that now white at X here is no longer an Atari. So if white tries to fight like here, then black immediately resorts to this. And you will see that this corner is now a ko, and white is not alive locally. So as we can see, this is sort of the general thought process of this 3/3 stone. It's kind of the most severe attacking move you can play with a single stone against a 4/4, right? This move sort of harasses the 4/4, but it does not directly challenge its life the same way as the 3/3 stone does. And since the 3/3 stone directly challenges the life, it is probably the most forcing move white can play against black. You will almost never see black play Tanuki against this, unless there's something really, really important going on somewhere else on the board. So this is the main thought process behind the move. And if you understand it this way, I think this will give you sort of a new way of thinking about what's actually going on in this corner and what black's doing here and what white's doing here. It's not really that white is, it's not that this is not territory for white or that white's not happy to get it or anything. It's that doesn't seem, at least to me, to be the main focus of the situation. The situation is about, from the beginning of the patterns, every last one of them until the end, the main story is the question of how can black handle this group, or just this single stone. That's all I have for today. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on another occasion. Take care.